Please give me bonkers money. All right. We all want it. Yada, what's up, sickos? It's me. I'm Bex Bestit, and this is Don't Call Me Diva, where we only talk women's wrestling. I run down the weekly matches of the AEW and ROH women's division, including the wrestlers who face them. Sometimes I take a look back at AEW from the beginning. We are currently up to the second Dynamite War. Other times, I pick a wrestler from the past and I talk about them, their matches, the vibe of the times. But we always live in the world of kayfabe here in Divaville. It's what keeps us happy. We make up lore, fantasy books, make up songs, waffle off on tangents, and that's the kind of shenanigans you can expect from the Don't Call Me Divas show. Alrighty, it's episode mother flippin' 20. Can you frickin' believe it? Yosh! And if you need to know any more info on moi and why we are here, go and check out episode then. Hey, Yosh! I am so happy to still be here 20 episodes in. I mean, I never really thought about ending. Once you start, you're just like, well, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to waffle off on about women's wrestling, and someone's going to watch it eventually, but I will still be here waffling along. And thank you, though, to everyone who has been watching and listening to the show. Y'all awesome. Thank you to all the subaroonies and sucharoos, and I wanted to put a shining light on women's wrestling, but as you know, especially AEW women's wrestling, and I feel like this could concede in doing that some days. So on a moi note, I never thought I would be able to write my own script of anything, let alone this kind of like project. I have like all the shibbity shammities. We won't go through them all, yada yada. And making words is sometimes hard. And when I read them, sometimes magic will reveal something different, as you will know from my waffles on. So, y'all have still been here listening to me through this, and I really, really appreciate it because, brains can do the most strangest things. And sometimes your brain just feels like it's got its phone out live streaming you on TikTok whilst yapping. It's just a prank, bro, after you've said like the wrong thing like 10 times in a row. But hence why I do write down like about 80% of this project of what I say on the show. Because if I didn't have it all in front of me like I do now, I would forget life ever happened when it came to recording an episode, and Shane would have the world's most impossible task of trying to put anything together. So, for you and for me and for him, I am very grateful that I have actually been able to do this. Write it all down, make it comprehensible in some sort of way. So yes, episode 20, reflection and appreciation done. Thank you for joining me once again, and let's get it in our souls. See, that was one of those moments where I went completely off script, and look what happened. Weirdness. Chris Statlander is your new Eve World Champion. Hell yeah, Ducks. That got that gold, or in this case, silver, gray, and lime green. It is a beautiful belt, and I cannot recommend the company of Eve more. If you're watching and or listening to more, you will definitely enjoy it if you're not already familiar, excuse moi, with the promotion. I started watching them about 2-ish or 3-ish years ago. I wanted to watch more about Jamie Hayter and stuff. So I've seen a lot of like her matches and things, and it's all available on YouTube as far as I can remember. I haven't checked like recently, but yeah, it's really, really good. So go check it out. It's a lot of fun. Yay! And with that, my dear sickos, it feels like it's been a little while. Oh no, we did it last week, didn't we? But still, it's been a while. So I love this moment. Bring the boom, shake your boobs, it's Dynamite. Oh, so much fun. It is the 300th episode of Dynamite this evening, my lovely sickos. As fire and honeybee explode from the stage. We are in Ontario, California, not Canada. Completely different place, but every time I hear Ontario, I will forever think Canada first. All the time. Like, why do places gotta have the same names, right? Like, did y'all run out when you made things? Like, there should be like a country maximum, don't you think? And if one country has a major city, then it should just be off limits for all the other major cities in the other countries. Or better yet, just like revert them to like what they used to be called. And then we want to get confused about where we are when we have moments like this in wrestling. Like, just think of the wrestling fans, okay? Come on. Moving on. Ontario, south of the border version. You are very excited this evening, and I love it. You all were excited last time, but now I have the crowd ranking tier list, so we can put you on there somewhere. We have some special sickos in the arena. I saw everyone's footage from the show, and it looked like an amazing vibe. And once again, fucking hell, Moxley is goddamn huge. Every time you forget that, and then you see him one of these footages, and it's like, oh shit, man, ginormous. The opening segment is a very hyped up moment of drama. Hangman and said Giant Mox face to face with each other in the ring, and you know that means that we have our eyes on one Marina, who is dressed for combat with the briefcase, holding the map to where the real Men's World Championship is, and I wonder if anyone will be able to find it. And she soon springs into action after fucking Yuta gets taken out by Hangman and his trusty fork. Marina wastes no time and stomps right up to Hangman Adam Page, slaps the stubble off of this man's face. She stands there waiting to see what he's going to do next. He turns to face Marina slowly, but Marina whips another sharp slap that connects with Hangman's face once again. When he doesn't react, Marina unleashes her rage and slaps the little shitballs out of Hangman's face. All of his paws just went like laying in about 7 or 8 slaps in a row, and they were not holding anything back. She was testing out her might, yelling taunts at him, like at the same time while she automatic rifle slaps herself into Hangman's skin. Goodness gracious, Marina has been wanting to do this for a long time, but every other time before, the Death Riders had pulled her back to keep her out of danger, I think. But honestly, you got to keep people away from Marina. She's just going to damage anybody. Now, she has him right in front of her, and she wants to fight. Bad bitch want to do bad bitch things. When Marina finally stops, she braces herself in a fight stance, waiting for Hangman's reply. He takes a step forward. Marina has her right fist tight and ready to strike, but she's also like shifting back a little bit. You know, she's a fighter. She knows to not like bring the thing too close. Hangman takes one more step forward. Marina takes a tiny small like step back, keeping about half a meter of distance between them. Fucking Yuta then grabs Hangman's leg and latches on like a leech. Claudio then tackles Hangman from behind, and they beat down on the cowboy once again. Marina leaves the ring and follows Moxley out through the crowd. But they don't leave straight away, though. Marina keeps looking back at the ring like she wants to fight, while Mox seems to take a few, some timeouts to shake the cobwebs out of his head from the shenanigans that him and Cowboy had before. Things get real tense in the arena as Hangman calls Claudio a bitch. He gets pissed, but then the ops come out to back up Adam Page. So, like, they don't end up doing anything. While everyone's attention is going on with what the men folk are doing, Marina has come around the arena and has got him back into the ring, like behind Hangman Adam Page. The crowd are going nuts when she gets into the ring because they can see, like, obviously what's going on. And they're, like, pointing out the danger in the ring. Sidebar, this totally reminds me of when, like, in pantomime, like, when everyone's like, it's behind you, and the main character's like, I love it. Marina has the briefcase in her hand and winds up to crack Hangman in the skull. Like, she fully, like, with a baseball bat, like, had a good swing with it. Hangman can't hear the shot and has no idea that she is there until he turns around in the nick of time and blocks the blow before it can knock him out. Man's got some like in-ring senses, that's for sure. He wrenches the briefcase out of Marina's hands, and with the momentum, she just falls straight down to the mat. Marina can see straight into Hangman's face, and she sees that he is pissed and has the briefcase now. And she is rightly concerned that her skull might now be the one being crushed. Hangman directs his verbal attentions back onto Mox. Marina stays on the mat. Her hand is outstretched to try and deflect whatever possibly could be coming her way. Like if he throws the briefcase at her, she can just like bah. If he like comes at her, she can just like bah. Like, you know, like protective, but also defensive, offensive. When she won't leave the ring, though, not while Hangman still has possession of that briefcase. She ain't leaving it. Also, I would like to do a little shout out to the beautiful ring that Marina is wearing tonight. It is gorgeous, and it's just glistening in the arena. Oh, lovely. Men get mad. Shirts are flying off everywhere, but Hangman gets what he wants and hands the briefcase back to Marina, who has a mixed expression of fear and uncertainty, but it's fear of her repercussions coming through her tenfold that I am seeing more, and she still seems a little bit uncertain, as if they are going to be coming back onto her. Hangman slowly walks away through the ropes and out onto the apron. Marina is slower to get to her feet, clutching the briefcase to her bosom. But she can't leave the ring, it seems. She is stuck between a Hangman and the Ops as they block all exits still. While she tries to find a path out of this, Hangman makes one last more statement to Moxley. Hangman drops that mic. Marina turns to face him, and Hangman plows through Marina with the buckshot lariat. The crowd goes nuts. This is the fucking like payback that they have been waiting for months. Marina is dangerous, and people haven't been fucking stepping up to her. It's only been Willow. Oh, if I may take a moment for real world, when this happened, I got like goosebumps because this is so big for women's wrestling, right? Like this is what we've been fucking talking about. This is fucking quality right here, baby, and I am here for it. Marina took that buckshot like a beast. She is so badass. Marina has been causing chaos all over the place, and so far, like I said, only Willow has taken her on. Hangman looked right at her, saw her as an equal, and gave her the buckshot lariat that she rightly fucking deserved. Women's wrestling rules. And yeah, this is so fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. As a voice for women's wrestling, by the way, you know, if you come at me with some sort of defending women, multiple women in your area that actually need help, so go educate yourself before you take your women, you know, your fake women's allyship onto social media. Go do some good for some real life ones, and then come and catch me back later. Well, not me. Don't come back here. But, you know, go sort your life out. Claudio and fucking Yuta are like stunned. Mox is violently furious. He almost has a fight with a concrete wall that I think he could actually win. He's that pissed. Hangman walks out of the ring, and the Ops meet him on the ramp. Claudio gets back into the ring at some point, and he's carrying Marina out, and they go to the back to the pacing Mox. Now, after all this, we scurry over to a little pre-taped promo for a mouvoir. The world champion, Timeless Toni Storm, is giving the rub to some young starlet as she does. Her gold glistens, and Timeless wears 3 rows of pearls. Now we know where Matthew Jackson's pearl collection went. And a gorgeous wine brown sparkly dress. She's an absolute vision. Then, with perfect movie magic, we are swept back to the arena. And the world goes grey, but it's rainbows in our hearts, because it's time for Timeless Toni Storm. Yay. Luther comes out first, looking as dapper as a mad hatter. Then, with a walk that is as stiff as a Catholic prick, comes out world champion, Timeless Tony Storm. It's all very matronly this evening. She's wearing a black skirt and white starched shirt, holding the title with one arm straight, waving to the fans with the other very straight arm as well. Timeless Tony Storm has an army drill sergeant vibe-ish about her this evening. Face is very set in a neutral position. There is no spinning and or flailing. You can almost see what kind of looks like rage trying to escape through every pore every time the camera pans to her face during this match. The stiff walk gives me a woman trying to contain her raging urges due to promises made to a loved one vibe. We all know the vibe, like when your bestie gets together with that guy again or that girl and you promise not to rip them or her dick off, and next time we all hang out, that kind of shit. Just going to kind of contain it and just let them have their little match. As promised, the CEO has laid out a spread for the world champion, but Timeless looks more repulsed than tempted and all that. Ugh. This is the TBS Championship match between the challenger, Mina Shirakawa, and the champion, Mercedes Moné. After the Daviemba makes the introductions, Mina's music hits. Now, we want this woman to dance her heart out in this entrance because she is going to need all the power-ups as much as possible, okay? One disadvantage, with having all those belts and 4 boats, Jet Ski Monet can't do her CEO power-up dance very well. So, this will all go against her and be the advantage to Mina that she needs to win. The power of dance is within you, Mina. Mercedes won her Rev Pro belt off of Mina, and last time they faced, it was the 3-way for the New Japan Strong Women's title that Azumi won by pinning Mina, not the champion at the time, Monet. So they have some history, and you can bet Monet definitely blamed Mina for losing her title. Mina dances her ass off. She knows the fucking drill and continues to as she walks down to the ring. The CEO music hits, and out comes the TBS champion. Mercedes has one new gear on that is very, very cool. It's like a pink shimmery oil slicked scales kind of battle gear with sparkles everywhere. And she has a new coat to go with it. It's black and fluffy with gold lining, and it goes all the way to the floor. The woman is more belt than flesh, and she manages a very mini CEO shimmy. This is Mercedes Moné's 1000th match of her career. Yo, that is impressive and needs to be celebrated. Fucking congratulations to you, Mercedes. Well fucking done. 1,000 matches. Wow, yes! One brilliant fucking achievement. Love that. The bell rings and Mina explodes into action, completely taking Mercedes off guard with a flurry of forearms. Mercedes runs to the ropes and puts herself in between them so the ref will have to back off Mina. Heels way out, but it's also very smart. While Mina trash talks her, Mercedes jumps down to the floor to try and get away, but Mina is very quick to follow. Mercedes leads her around the ring before rolling back in herself. It has been a ruse this whole time to get the upper hand, and as soon as Mina rolls back into the ring behind her, Monet just starts stomping down on her. Mercedes looks over at Timeless, the world champion, and shows her the soles of her boots. Mercedes has put stickers of the Timeless one on them so as to figuratively stomp a mud hole through her. Mercedes rips them off, and this distraction is enough to give Mina the opening to give her a rising knee strike to the face. I did think that was a little bit risky, Miss Monet, putting those stickers on the bottom of your feet, because what happens if you just slid? You fucked. Mina slides between the CEO's legs, speaking of sliding, and tries to pull her down for a pin, but the CEO blocks it. They are too close to the ropes for this. Mina adjusts slightly and hooks both of Monet's arms behind her with her legs, and Monet finally goes down and slams down onto the mat. That's how you counter that shenanigans. Quickly, both wrestlers get to their feet, and Mina kicks Monet in the gut. Monet tries to take the CEO down, but she gets taken down herself with an arm drag. She counters out of it, but Monet rolls over her back and tries to get her in the statement maker. Mina can escape with ease and attempts her own submission, but the figure four leadlock. But Monet kicks Mina in the butt and she runs to the ropes. On the second run, Monet leapfrogs Mina, but Mina takes out her leg and Monet crashes down to the mat face first. Very, very smart, Mina. Mina is very happy with herself, and we get a celebratory shimmy. Monet looks over at her, and Mina does the, your title is mine gesture. That enrages Monet because how dare she? Who tries to knock her out, but Mina Matrix avoids it, takes the TBS champion down, and puts her in the first pin of this match. Mercedes kicks out at 12. They both get to their feet quickly and clash forearms like they were chasing each other with swords. Mercedes grabs a handful of Mina's hair and slams the back of her head down onto the mat, completely putting to a halt this entire match. While Mina grabs the back of her head, Mercedes takes a moment to soak up the rain of boos coming down upon her from the crowd. Mercedes' ego takes over and she smack talks Tony while pushing Mina up against the ropes. Mina uses this moment to counter whatever Monet planned, whips her into the ropes, and as she's coming running back, Mina takes her down with a thirst press, hammer forearms down onto the CEO who can do nothing but cover up. Ref warns Mina about using close fists, but she just battle cries into his face as a reply. Mina snapmares Mercedes around the ring by her hair and then takes the time to power up some more with a CEO sped up taunt dance of her own, which was just a thing of madness, and I loved it. Mercedes has retreated to the corner, but Mina cannot take advantage of her power up before she gets clocked in the face with a back elbow from Mercedes. Next, Monet hefts herself up, locks her legs around Mina, and then pulls her face into the middle turnbuckle. Ow! Mina stumbles backwards. Monet stands up on Brett's rope of healing power and then flies at Mina with a meteora. A meteora is a double knees, in case you were wondering. Since this is a Mercedes-Monet match, you will be hearing that word a lot. Mercedes gives Mina a few forearms to the face and then drags her up to her feet, by her hair again, and then throws her through the ropes to the outside, mocking the Timeless One with her own pose, and then Timeless mat dances in the ring until she starts to crack herself up, fantasizing about winning the world championship, and starts kicking her legs in the air like a complete fool. Please give me bonkers, no boats, no belts, no jet skis, Monet. It would be epic. Oh, my goodness. Tony stays staunch in a solid statue of flesh while Luther fans her down with a hanky furiously. Mina gets back into the ring, but Monet is waiting and grabs a handful of hair as soon as Mina gets through the ropes. Monet drags her around the ring, giving her a few snapmares using the head, but in this instance, it's really just her hair. Excalibur names this a hair mare, and although it sounds funny, it is accurate. A running meteor from Monet puts Mina in a tight pin, but she kicks out before 3. The crowd are chanting, the crowd are chanting loudly whilst also crumping with dueling "Let's go Mina" and CEO chants. Monet gets to her feet and it seems like the chants from the fans are starting to get at her. She has to cover her ears for a little bit. Texas, wherever we are for y'all, and I have no idea. This is what we need to do to break the streak of Monet, okay? You just chant your little hearts out. Chant for the Timeless One, Texas. This is your mission, okay? You will be a part of the breaking of Monet. Monet puts Mina in the tree of woe and stomps down onto her face. This, of course, is illegal, and Monet has to stop. But that's okay. She has another plan in mind. Mercedes slips under the ropes down to the floor and grabs a handful of Mina's hair and pulls her head backwards, causing Mina to scream out in pain. This is also illegal. And Mercedes must let go. Ow. She does, and then saunters over to where the Timeless World Champion is sitting. Full disclosure, people. No one is going through this amount of food either. Not even the highly tempting large rectangular birth cake gets smushed into by anybody. The tides of predictable wrestling, they are returning, my sickos. Monet gets back into the ring, pulls Mina out of the corner, and goes for a pin. Mina defiantly kicks out at 2. Monet pulls Mina to her feet by her hair, and Mina has had enough of all of this. She hits back at Monet with some stiff forearms. A stiff one back from Monet, though, stops Shirakawa's attacks. But a counter out of an attempted tombstone from Monet with a Hurricane Rana puts Mina in the perfect position for a swing blade, and Monet goes down hard. Mina battle cries to the crowd to get behind her, and they do. A few more forearms to Monet, and Mina whips her to the ropes. Mercedes counters, but it doesn't matter because as Mina comes running back at Monet, she takes out her knee with a drop kick. Now that's the way you get her, especially for her figure 4 leg lock. Mina drags Monet by that damaged leg over to the same corner she herself was put in the Tree of Woe. Mina slams the inside of Monet's damaged knee into the turnbuckle and she cries out in pain, she being Monet. Mina then sets her up for the figure 4 hanging off the turnbuckle mega move. Illegal, but effective. Mina picked this move up from watching the great Bret Hart, as she said herself. Sidebar, I have, and this is probably going to be a unpopular opinion, but I don't give a fuck. I was always a fan of salty, sassy WCW Bret Hart. He was so mad and so dumb. His promos cracked me up. I loved it. He was just so honest, like, fucking brilliant. Moving on. Ow. He should have had such a better run. Anyway, moving on. Especially with Salty Bret, that would have been brilliant. Anyway, moving on. This, of course, is very illegal, and Mina has to break up the hold before the ref counts to 5. Back in the ring, Monet is holding her knee, and the ref is bending over, checking on her, making sure she can still go on. Mina sees her chance and uses the ref's back to Tonilo down onto Mercedes. It was awesome. She's got this down packed. Mina goes for the pin, but she can only get a 2. Shirakawa drags Monet further into the ring, splashes down onto the TBS champion's damaged knee, and then goes for the figure 4. Monet nopes out of that and rolls Mina up into the statement maker. Mina holds on for a very long time, refusing to tap out. They are still close enough to the ropes for her to reach out. Mercedes sees this and uses her foot to kick off, and her intention was to roll them both further into the middle of the ring, but instead Mina shimmies out of the statement maker and locks the figure 4 leg lock on the CEO. Mina has it locked in tight, and no matter what Mercedes does, she cannot break out of the submission. So it turns into a slap fight. When that doesn't work, Monet engages Roly Roly, and both wrestlers alligator roll out of the ring under the ropes and crash down onto the floor, the impact breaking them apart instantly. Yo! So we got fucking Yolin like coming up, and we've got Dynamite coming up, and Monet has already like suffered like quite a bit of damage to this knee, whereas Okay, Tony kind of got a concussion last time. Okay, maybe it's not quite the advantage I thought it would, but, just pointing it out. They fell hard, and the ref has to check on them both. The earlier damage to her knee keeps Monet down for longer, and soon Mina gets to her feet with a battle cry from the depths. She grabs Mercedes by the hair and goes to throw her into the side of the ring, but Mercedes' instincts kicks in, and she turns it on Mina. Mina's quick thinking, though, hops her up onto the apron, and she back kicks Monet in the face. Shirakawa then spins herself around, captures Monet's head between her legs, and then gives her a tierras down onto the floor. Mina gets to her feet, yoinks Monet's head, then uses the steel chairs to kick off and sends the TBS champion's head directly into the floor. Woo-ha! Mina pounces on Mercedes and rolls her back into the ring, but this time Monet turns it on Mina and kicks her in the face. Not quite down enough. Mercedes gets to her feet, takes a run, and flies off the apron and crashes through Mina with a Meteora. This was riskier than normal considering her already damaged knee. Both wrestlers are down onto the floor, feeling the damage accumulating from this match already. The ref has the audacity to try and count them both out, but both wrestlers make it into the ring before the 10. Monet gets him first, and her expression from hearing the ref stop his count is priceless. So is Mina, like literally screaming in her ear from behind. Brilliant shot. They take a handful of each other's hair, as is kind of fucking tradition, and they both get to their feet. They take each other's wrists in hand and start exchanging stiff, brutal forearms into one another. A violent dance ensues, which gets ended by a swift kick to the face from Monet to Mina. A sunset flip sets Mina up for a rough meteora to the face. Another sunset flip slams the back of Mina's head into the corner of the turnbuckle. Jesus. Mina is slumped into the corner, and Monet runs at her with another meteora to the face. Monet drags her out of the corner and pins Mina. But Mina still has fight in her, and she kicks out at 2. Monet really thought she had that pin, though, and the frustration is etched all over her face. Dueling chants are back as the TBS champion drags her aching body up to the top rope and flies at Mina with another meteora that connects but also activates Mina, who grabs the CEO's leg and repeatedly bashes it into the mat. Mina dragon screws Monet down to the mat and then locks the figure 4 leg lock in. The crowd are behind Mina, but Mercedes manages to reach out to the ropes and it breaks the submission. Mina quickly climbs the ropes and then avalanche swing blades Mercedes, taking her out and making her very vulnerable for a pin. The CEO manages to get the shoulder up though right before the ref hits the mat at 3. It was this close. Mina lets out a battle cry of frustration, then calls on the crowd to give her some more strength, goddammit. Mina attempts her glamorous driver Mina on the CEO, but she wiggles out of it, and Mercedes gets Mina up onto her back for the Monet Maker. The Monet Maker? Yes, the Monet Maker. But Mina has scouted this and counters out of it. Mina cracks Monet in the head with 2 rolling elbows and then a spin kick, which finally takes her down. Mina beats down onto the mat, calling on the crowd to give her more. Both wrestlers get to their feet, but Mercedes is still dazed from that kick. She is standing up by instinct alone. Mina then whips around and cracks Monet in the skull with a back fist, and the CEO goes down again. Mina once again attempts to put the glamorous driver, Mina, onto Mercedes. Mina successfully nails Monet with her finisher and goes for the pin. Is Mina going to win the TBS championship? No. Mercedes gets her shoulder up just inches off the mat, but that is enough to break the pin. That's all you need. Doesn't need to be high in the air, just needs to be off the mat. Mina is stunned but not defeated, even when Mercedes manages to crack Shirakawa's back with a backstabber. Blair, where have I gone? Mina gets to her feet before Mercedes with a battle cry from the depths. This is indeed war. Mina cannonballs her knee through the CEO's face, goes for the pin, but this time Mercedes defiantly kicks out at 1. Oh, good grief. They've come to their Super Saiyan fucking tier. They stand across from each other for just a moment before taunting one another to bring it on. Mina runs at Mercedes with another swing blade, but Mercedes manages to catch her instead, flip her upside down, and nails Mina with a lung blower. This takes everything out of the wrestlers, and they take a moment to suck in air while they're on the mat into their aching bodies. Mercedes reaches over to pin Mina, but it will only get a 2. This drives the CEO insane again. She gets to her feet, grabs a handful of Mina's hair, and drags her also up to her feet. Monet attempts the Monet Maker again, but Mina wiggles out, rolls up the CEO, and goes to lock in the figure 4. Monet knows she is cooked if Mina puts that on her again, and with all the stamina left in her body, the TBS champion yoinks Mina and uses the timeless world champion's never misses big package, and she gets the win. Whoo! Mina has to double check with the ref to make sure he, counted correctly. But Mercedes has beaten her fair and square. Instantly, the CEO's demeanor changes once that bell rings. Her cockiness is back to full strength. It's like nothing ever happened. The ref hands her back her TBS championship. And then quite quickly, Mercedes pushes Shirakawa quite forcefully from behind. Instantly, the world champion explodes into the ring. The crowd goes nuts, and the CEO fucking jits it out of the ring in a flash. She doesn't go far, though. And while Tony is checking on Mina, Mercedes shoots back into the ring and KOs the world champion with a crack to the skull with that TBS championship belt. Belt for belt, Mercedes? Hmm? With a maniacal laugh, Mercedes rolls out of the ring, grabs the giant cake, licks off some icing, then throws champagne into Luther's face. The man needs to work on that pointing finger thing a bit more because that had no power to stop that one. That was definitely a crack in Monet. She still got there now, though. No dastardly deeds have been in any of these matches. It's been afterwards, but afterwards is fine, she says. I do believe, though, that she, like I've said before, she is bringing out a version of Timeless World Champion Tony Storm that I don't think we have even potentially seen before. She might actually get a more dangerous Tony Storm than what Mariah May got in the Hollywood ending. She may, well, I think she's soon going to be regretting everything that she has done. And like I said, bring on Bunkers Monet. Come on. I reckon she'd do such a good fucking job. Jesus. She's so goddamn talented. And if you can believe it, that is it for 300 Dynamite. No other women's action, no backstage promos, no nothing. Don't get me wrong, plenty of very important stuff happened that enhanced storylines. Like, it just didn't involve any more women for some reason. There just needs to be, like, just more on tally, just full stop. No ifs, no buts. Marina is so effortlessly in the Death Riders, and this can be the same for other factions. Even make more factions that involve a lot of women, and maybe have like another guy in that, and don't make him meet or like some pathetic or less than person. That no, it's not about being better. It's about being seen in multiple different lights, integrated together. So it's just wrestlers wrestling for the entertainment of us all. Honestly, I can see AEW being able to pull it off. I just feel like they need to learn and adjust and maybe experiment a little bit more with this kind of stuff, Because like I said, and everything else, it just all makes sense. Going back to Marina, since I brought her up, and like that Hangman spot, there were a lot of loud voices trying to say that this was bad for women and promoted domestic violence. But as a woman who had a childhood of abuse, you cannot fool me with this fake outrage. These people are the problem, to be perfectly honest. Real abuse goes unchecked constantly. So before you start making a post, check yourself and see what have you done in your actual real life. Okay? Okay. We better get into Collision and see if that's any better. It's already, though, making me feel better because the title card for the 100th episode of Collision, I actually kind of really loved it. Like, they get to their, like, 100th and, like, 100th in, like, the same, like, week. It makes, like, a real special week. It's really nice. Fuck yeah, it is a 8-women's tag match with 2 teams who have been violently clashing with each other for about a month-ish now. Anna Jay and Bane have been beefing for a while, a little longer than that. Already have they had brutal matches between her, Ty Mello, and Mega Bad. Ty Mello is badass and ready to get back into competition. Julia has been beefing with everyone and everyone who's not Sky Blue, and that's just the way she likes it. Tekla and Queen Aminata have both hit the proverbial brick wall with each other and have begun a rivalry to test each other's strength and endurance, toughness, and general badassery. That's so exciting. Thunder Rosa has been full steam ahead in her quest for gold since she came back from injury. She has been on absolute fire lately. Thunder Rosa has her eyes now set on Athena's ROH World title. And Athena, of course, has absolutely no plans on giving it to her. Their fight for the title is going to be absolutely fantastic. Athena is yet to be defeated in combat and is the more like I think she's like the most successful champion like in the entire wrestling world at the moment. Honestly, as of recording of this episode, Athena only has like legit 58 days away from being Ring of Honor world champion for 1,000 days. 1,000 days. I apologize, Thunder. I really, really do. But I really, really want Athena to be like able to achieve that. Like for real, you know? That would be like the coolest thing to add to a t-shirt promo, like life goals, bragging rights for like forever. You know, instant legend status, solid silver statue with the chrome tint of you and the literal Wrestling Hall of Fame. And when I came up with this, my little mind did like a little like fantasy of like this literal Hall of Fame, like this like really cool place. Like you can make like a pilgrimage to go, and like it's just like all these statues of like the wrestlers in this new Hall of Fame, and they just have like in a garden. It's kind of like in my mind, it's kind of a little Greek garden. But we can pillars and such. It's all very real. You make a pilgrimage there every year, and it's just lovely. I don't know. I like that little idea. Moving on. The world champion, Timeless Tony Storm, has a beautifully crafted promo next where she addresses the little girl watching at home who has hyped up for All In and what's billed to be the greatest women's wrestling match of all time. She warns them that it will be a brutal fight, one which might change their minds about women's wrestling. Tony Storm gives me absolute goosebumps with this one, and I'm now 10 minutes, like 10 times, 10 minutes. I'm now 10 times more ramped up for this match after this. I don't know, like after this promo, it just really, whoo, she put the fight up in me. We get a little rundown on what happened when Anna Jay, the former world champion Swerve, and the future tag champion in my mind, Truth Magnum, went to NASCAR. Anna Jay used those really satisfying looking like zip, zip, machines that they like take the wheel nuts off, and she was like changing tires and sliding into cars and looking all badass doing it. I have no idea what the connection is, but I absolutely believe that wrestling can heal the world. So the more people who love it, the better. There are so many wrestling promotions out there that there is literally anything for someone. And you know what? There's always Layla Gray. Shout out to Arkady Aura. She is doing another excellent job at ring announcing and looking lovely in brown. We briefly see the lovely Layla Gray in a magnificent Scorpio Sky promo. Holy shit, please excuse me while I take a minute to say YOSH about that promo. Yeah. Let's bring him back. And it looks like I'm absolutely right. Scorpio Sky answers Max Caster's opening challenge. So, Top Flight come back out, and they're all in black, and Layla Gray is back, and she's wearing a simple perfect black dress, a chain belt, and a smile. They don't accompany Sky and Daniels to the ring, so we make our exit. But she might be back. It's Willow time, people. The hero of the locker room's music hits and the crowd goes wild. I forgot where I was, but no worries. We remembered. We're in Ontario. California, not Canada. Woo! Okay. Willow was on episode 1 of Collision in a tag match with Sky Blue against the Outcasts, Ruby Soho and Tony Storm. Yo! Did you guys see did you guys see Ruby Soho's like posts recently? She's like back in wrestling training. Willow won that one. Willow faced Nyla Rose on Collision episode 2 in the Owen Hart Foundation 2023 Women's Tournament quarterfinal, which Willow also won. Hello, I am going to make a point on mentioning Nyla Rose in every episode of Don't Call Me Diva until she is back on telly. And then, of course, beyond until I run out of things to say. And good luck on that ever happening. All right. We are keeping her alive here, people. Yo! Sorry. Excuse me. Willow, I will get back to you in one moment. But her opponent is Vipress! YOSH! I've always wanted her in the roster. She has wrestled in AEW in a few dark matches, but only once on the main shows. Vipress is the bomb diggity, and I instantly get extra excited about this match because I had no idea she was going to be on it. But fuck yeah, now I get to talk about Vipress. Yes, we saw her first on Dark in 2020 in a match against the Portuguese pro wrestler Shana, who had a little run in AEW in the early days. When I went and looked back, I was like, oh yeah, I remember Shana. Vipress also faced Big Swole that same year on the Dark. You can watch all of those Darks and Dark elevations on AEW's YouTube. You get a lot of women's matches on those shows. Plus, it's top tier unhinged announcing from like Taz and Excalibur is brilliant. Taz bursts into song at like a moment's notice. The whole dynamic is hilarious, wholesome, and I am glad that it exists forever so you can rewatch it whenever you want. I think someone's rewatching them. Oh, I forgot to look that up. God damn it. In 2021, Vipress had 2 matches on Dark against Layla Hirsch and a tag match with Maddie Rinkowski. Remember her? Against Kylan King and Red Velvet. On Dark Elevation, she faced Diamante. And I actually fully remember that match. That was the match that made me like fall in love with Vipress. It's a fucking good match. In 2023, Vipress fought Anna Jay on Dynamite and had a trios match with Johnny Robbie and Zyra against Emi Sakura, Nyla Rose, and Marina Shafir. Marina Shafir is currently the Defy Women's Champion, and Vipress recently faced her for the title in a very hard-hitting match. She is tough. Vipress has been in wrestling since 2016 and has held the Hood Slam Golden Gig Championship, Shine's Tag Team Championship with the Coven, and the Intergalactic Tag Team Championship with Dark Sheik, also in Hoodlum. She is in Biker Girl Casual Beat Your Ass Battle Gear this evening, and the hero of the locker room, Willow Nightingale, is in her red and gold battle gear. Now, the last time I actually saw Vipress wrestle, she was in more of a slightly supernatural, vampirish, goth type character. This time, she is in Cholo inspired, and it is perfect. Perfect. I love to see the representation in this time of our lives. A little bit more of that. Willow extends her hand for a respectful handshake to start the match, but Vipress knocks the fuck out of her hand and gives it a very hard slip. Ontario instantly boos. They clash in battle, and Willow gets the power advantage over Vipress early on. Willow slams her in the corner a few times, whips her into the middle, and then pump kicks Vipress in the face. A beautiful spine buster almost flows into Willow's finisher, Babe with the power bomb, but Vipress wiggles out of it and scampers to the safety of the corner. Willow's like, okay, but a bit too confidently, and walks over to where Vipress is. Vipress quickly sidesteps and trips Willow, who lands face first into those turnbuckles. As Vipress takes a moment to taunt the crowd, we see the newly crowned Eve World Champion Dark Stat is watching the match backstage. Someone comes up behind her and taps her on the shoulder. And for some reason, it's fucking Yuta. Darkstat is upset to see him, just as I am, and walks off, telling him that she does not need him. Back in the ring, Viperous is getting all sassy and slappy, pushing Willow's patience maybe a little bit too big. Too big, too much. Yes, it definitely was. Willow answers with a powerful chop to the chest that ends up smashing Viperous to the ground. As Viperous gets back to her feet, Willow starts taunting her back. Viperous is like, oh yeah, you want to go, eh? And Willow is like, fuck yeah, we're gonna go, yo. And it's like words to Viperous ears. She flips her hair over and ties it up in this big fucking like knot and gets Ontario's attention right there. The ref is in the way when Viperous goes to run off the ropes, and as she springs back at Willow, she's been able to lay that pounce on her. Another taunt from Willow to the downed now Viperous, and she pulls those straps down, signaling for her finisher, the babe with the power bomb. Eek. Viperous is still out from that pounce, that damn riff, and is unable to do anything about it. Willow slams Viperous down on the mat and folds her up and gets the pin and the win. With a very satisfied smile, Willow gets her hand raised and add that to the pile of wins that Willow is racking up recently. Surely she has some sort of line to challenge for either the world or TBS championship titles soon. Like, surely she must be in that little orbiting area of the titles. We skedoodle back to Dynamite, where the remarkable legs on Renee Paquette is getting the scoops from a downed Anthony Bowens backstage. Renee is wearing an oversized caramel cream waistcoat with her Vivienne Westwood style brooch that I absolutely love. Daddy ass swoops in, and Renee ends up getting all the scoops. All things are good in Bowens and Billy World, and we move on. Why we didn't see that on the actual Dynamite, but it's a person tag time. Woo! Ty J Music's hit first, the bestest of bestest friends ever in the history of best friends, do their battle handshake of friendship, and this carries on. If this carries on, they are going to literally babyface me off the cliff, and there is only so much pure babyface I can handle before I just get babyfaced off the cliff. Whew! Ty is in her yellow, blue, and green battle gear, and Anna J is in her black battle gear with the silver sparkly stars, or sparkly as is wrestling appropriate. My brain went back to that being like babyfaced off the cliff thing. Focus. I'm sorry. I am sorry. Excuse me. Excuse me. Let's go back. Why is Bane and Ford already in the ring? During the break, we had the Heels entrance, and now I am pissed because I love an entrance, especially all four women who are already in the ring, and now I feel cheated. Now I definitely want them to crush the babyface team into oblivion. You don't have to do this to a person, people. This is rude. Not even the usually hip-shaking awesomeness of Queen Aminata's music hitting turns my mood after I see this. She does come out in her gorgeous new battle gear, but then we pan to Tekla in the ring, and you can bet your ass I got even more sour about that. This might be quite the sassy retelling of this match, people, so settle yourself in. Thunder Rosa's music hits. She's in the Mexican flag-inspired battle gear with appropriate sparkles, and she is always hyped up as ever. I can't be mad at Thunder Rosa. It wasn't her fault. Her sugar skull makeup is a fade of the Mexican flag at all, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. But I'm still pissed. While Thunder Rosa runs her bubblegum babyface booty around the ring, slapping hands with all the fans, we flip to Athena, who seems to be invisibly signing some sort of document with Bane. Athena is in her pink and technicolored camo battle gear. Julia is in her new black and lime gear. Tekla is in her usual battle gear. And I think Bane is in her red, blue with the gold battle gear. I think so. I can't really tell. The lights are just really shimmering red off her butt. Queen Aminata is starting off for her team, and it seems both Julia and Tekla are super keen to start this match for theirs. God damn it! Missing matches, missing entrances. I know there is literally no pleasing me because I get pissed if there was a break during this match more. But come on, yo! Do we really have to have musical interludes while the networks do ads? This is like a purely Triller TV watching moan. Bring back those days of those earlier arena noise and aimlessly painting around days, please. At least, like, I didn't miss a moment of the action. And that was awkward when I went back and watched the first Dynamite of that. But now I'm like, if you're going to give me this, I'll take that, please. Tekla steps in front of Julia, but as the bell rings, Julia steps in front of Tekla. And Tekla backs off to her corner. We will have Julia Hart versus Queen Aminata to start this match. Scrap that. Tekla reaches over the ropes and tags herself in. Julia is not impressed, but she steps through the ropes. Tekla assures them that she has got this, but turns around into a kick to the gut from Queen Aminata. She don't got this. Queen Aminata whips Tekla to the ropes, and this gives Tekla super speed. She ducks a lariat, hits the opposite ropes, and takes the Queen down with a Hurricane Rana. Back to her feet quickly, Aminata gets taken down again by a snapmare, but Aminata gets up to her feet quickly again and eats a slap to the face from Tekla, and then a boot to the womb. Whew! Tekla goes to get speed off the ropes again, not in a drug way, and ends up catapulting herself into a slap of death from the one and only. Tekla tags out to Julia, but Julia doesn't have much luck either and ends up with a face full of chocolate kisses. Julia instantly nopes and tags out to Athena. Athena's like, no problem, y'all. I got this. But when she turns around, it's no longer Queen Aminata in the ring. It's Thunder Rosa. Athena then nopes the fuck out of there and tags out to Bane. Bane, never meeting a person she didn't want to hurt, has no problems facing Thunder Rosa. Rosa sprints past the Megasis and tries to knock Athena off the apron, but Athena is quicker. Yo! Sky Blue is here too! She's down on the outside with Penelope Ford. I miss your entrance, Miss Penelope. I have no idea what you're wearing, but it's some sort of bustier, as is tradition, and I'm going to also assume it's got something to do with the black PVC pants. I apologize. It wasn't my fault. I just wasn't there. Where was I? That's right. Master of the dropkick, Thunder Rosa lays one in on Bane's chest, but she doesn't go down. Instead, she challenges Thunder Rosa to try again. Rosa is like, yo, and is like surprised at first, but then she's like, okay, and springs off the rope and gets caught by her. Instead of running, who then running slams her into the corner turnbuckles, followed by a nasty chop. Brain totally floated off there again. Woohoo! Back to reality. Bane throws Thunder into the opposite corner and goes for her body slam, but ends up body slamming the corner sans Thunder and takes herself out. Thunder Rosa climbs to the top rope and avalanche shotgun drop kicks Bane, who crashes down to the mat. Bane goes to get some stamina back from Brett's rope of healing power, but it is no good. Thunder Rosa the battle cries, and it's Thunder time, baby. She demolishes Megan Bane with her running missile dropkick. Out and down in the middle-ish of the ring, Queen Aminata tags in and climbs to the top rope. Aminata stomps down on Bane and then taunts her and her team with Bane's own battle taunt, just with a little butt wiggling to it. Queen Aminata tags in Thunder when she sees the Megasis is back on her feet. They double team violence onto her until they whip her into the ropes, and this gives Bane the momentum she needed to break through their attempt at a double clothesline and take them both out instead with one of her own. Megan battle cries from the depths, and everyone is very impressed. Megan picks up Thunder and drives her spine first into the corner. A few knees to the gut to keep her there, and then the Megasis gets a run up and runs a pump kick straight through Thunder's face. Tekla tags in and decides to go for the pin, but Thunder kicks out at 2. Tekla unleashes some technical violence onto Thunder Rosa and goes for another pin, but Thunder is not beaten down enough for that. Tekla pulls Rosa up from the mat and Thunder starts chopping and forearming the beans out of Tekla. A violent dance ensues between them that ends when Tekla captures Thunder in her legs and flips backwards on the ropes for her jorugumo. Jorogumo. Say it with me now. Jorogumo. Choke. Releasing her before the ref counts to 5 in her uniquely toxic spider way. She enthusiastically tags in Julia while Thunder Rosa desperately claws her way to her own corner. Woo! We are getting tongue-tied. Remember to hydrate your sickos, people. Julia Hart grabs her by the foot, wrenches on her neck, and then locks in Heartless while letting out a battle cry from her own depths. Anna Jay, who has yet to get into this fight along with Tay, steps in to help out her teammate by rudely booting Julia in the face. Don't worry, girl, I got you. Tekla also thought this was rude and runs into Hammerfist Anna in the womb, then whips her into the corner. Tay. Why am I getting that messed up today? Ty is yelling at the ref, but honey, wrestlers have been doing that for years, and when has that ever worked in y'all's favor? Julia whips Thunder Rosa into the opposite corner from Anna Jay, and both Julia and Tekla heft their opponents up onto the top rope. They both climb the ropes as well. Will this work, or will they both be getting thrown off these top ropes instead? Tekla is the first to successfully avalanche suplex Anna Jay down onto the mat, battle posing upside down once she has completed it. Julia avalanche suplexes Thunder Rosa and then battle poses herself upside down. Julia and Tekla communicate with each other in upside down women's language, and they simultaneously sit back up. It looks so cool. Tekla exits the ring while Julia sets herself up to fly and damage Thunder Rosa with a superb moonsault. Unfortunately for Hart, though, Thunder Rosa gets not one, but 2 of her boots up, and they go right into Julia's face, and she gets booted out of the sky. And that was how she died. Queen Aminata and Ty Mello are pounding on top turnbuckle for Thunder Rosa to reach them, while Tekla tries to awaken Julia with incantations. Even the Forever Champ has joined the Awaken Julia Hart party, but so far she is not budging. Ford and Blue look a little concerned, but finally Julia snaps back to life and tags in Tekla just in time for Thunder to tag in Ty. They clash in the middle of the ring. Ty takes Tekla out with a couple of stiff lariats. A brutal swinging side slam from Ty rocks Tekla, and she stumbles into the corner. Ty smashes Tekla's face with a running pump kick. She sprints to the ropes and nails her with another one. Ty goes for a third and is successful. Tekla is arm dragged into the middle of the ring and eats a running knee from Ty Mello. Ty goes for the pin, but Tekla has her whole team yelling at her to kick out, and she does. Ty is frustrated and tags in Anna Jay for some double team action on Tekla. Anna Jay gory bombs Tekla into Ty's knee strike, and a feisty Ty forgets she is no longer legal and goes for the pin. Anna Jay moves her off quickly though and pins Tekla because she is legal. Very close to the ropes though, but it is not the ropes that save Tekla, but the boot of Athena. Thunder Rosa instantly runs into the ring and challenges Athena, who is not interested in the slightest, and slides out of that ring. This time, Thunder Rosa turns into a kick from Julia Hart to the face, and it takes her out right there. Queen Aminata sprints into the ring and captures Julia Hart, taking her out with a fisherman's neck breaker. Aminata's turn to instantly get knocked down by Megan Bain's boot. Megan releases a battle cry but she stomps right into a couple of double kicks from Itai J. Whew. Athena sees her chance and takes them both out with a spinning back fist into a DDT. Queen Amanada gets into the ring, but the fallen goddess is already flying at her, and she takes the one and only out with the O face. The crowd goes nuts, and Athena is pumped. Thunder Rosa gets to her feet, but once Athena sees that, she is up and jits the fuck out of the ring again. Thunder Rosa is done with all this. And as Athena walks around the ring, she gets taken down with a flying crossbody off the apron from Thunder Rosa. Thunder is not done. She lays in some hands down on Athena's skull and then throws the Ring of Honor World Champion into the barricades. She gets violent with Athena. Athena breaks away from Thunder and runs down to the entrance tunnels, runs right through them and out to the back with Thunder Rosa completely on her heels. Yo, where are you going? Are you coming back? No? Okay. Well, they're gone. Anna Jay successfully dodges Megan Bain's flying lariat of destruction and plants her head first into the mat with a DDT. Sky Blue runs around the ring and pulls Ty Mello off the apron before Anna Jay can tag her in. Perfect timing. Literally. Sky Blue's sneak is like top tier. You cannot see that woman coming. Just all of a sudden, she's just like, Pah! Sky Blue is gorgeous in all black. Thank you, Queen. Sky Blue gets all violent with Ty Mello while Penelope Ford distracts the ref. Sky throws Ty Mello into the LED barricade, and the stealthy one gets back to her side of the ring. Bain is up onto her feet, hoists Anna Jay onto her shoulders, but Jay engages kicky feet to the nines and back elbows, which successfully gets her out of Fate's descent. Anna Jay takes a breather in the corner and successfully avoids Megan's spear that is barreling down upon her. Bain missiles herself into the steel ring post. Oh, that can't be good. Sky gets up onto the apron, but Anna Jay sees her coming and takes her out. Penelope Ford comes out of nowhere, though, on the apron, but Jay grabs her by the hair and slams her face repeatedly into the top turnbuckle. Penelope, babes, it's not looking good. Anna Jay turns around and Megan explodes through her with a flying lariat that absolutely connects with her internal fucking brain. Nigel and Tony say something about this is being called the Decapitator. Holy flying fraggles, people. Did Bane do it? Did she name like that move like we've been wanting like this whole time? And then we can call this the Decapitator now. So excited. Megan then just casually hoists Anna Jay up for a brutalizing running powerbomb. You think she's going to go for the Fate's descent again? But fuck no. She demolishes Anna Jay with that running powerbomb. Bane folds her up real good too for the pin, and she gets the 1, the 2, and the 3. The baddies win. YOSH! Happy days are here again. My team won, and Bane has named the most devastating flying lariat that has ever lived in all of history. Everything is awesome again, and I'm a happy little champion. Bane's music hits as Ford, Tekla, Sky, and Julia Hart get back into the ring and raise their arms in victory. They are all so fucking cool and badass. I love them. Just imagine, just for fun, just for funsies, that all 5 of these wrestlers are in a faction together. Still keep Buddy and Brody tied to Julia, of course, because come on, that would be like the ultimate badass faction ever. But that would just be so great. Like just the ultimate faction of baddies. I'm going to add that to my little dream list. Dream list? We are moving on, people. We get another promo from Alex Windsor explaining more about her journey to AEW. Once again, very much looking forward to her addition in the roster. Collison ends bang on 2 hours, which is against tradition, and we leave Ontario once again, California, not Canada. right over to ROH, my dear sickos. We are building up to the Supercard of Honor, which will also be in Texas. Can't quite remember the day, but I think it might be like the day before All In. We got to double check on that one. Serena Deeb will be in action this evening against Becca with a 3. I'm going to know what the deal with this 3 is. They will be having a pure rules match. All getting things set up for this pure rules tournament, which is happening when? After our opening match, we get an awesome promo from Athena and Thunder Rosa for their upcoming title match at Supercard of Honor. Once again, I want Athena's 1,000-day title run, but I want her also in the AEW World Title Battle more, I guess. She is just so good and enhances every segment she is in. Oh, Athena's just amazing. But next up, we get a little tiny little promo from the inventory. Well, it's not really a promo, really. It's just like the wonderful inventory. Charlie Bravo, Sean Dean, and the fabulous Trish Adora. Trish is gorgeous in all black, appreciated with golden jewelry and a blue checkered shirt tied around her waist. They are apparently here to wish upon the United States a happy Will Smith Day. So we'll be moving on. It's Professor time! Serena D brings her flag out with her, as is tradition, with her white battle jacket. Not going to lie to you, Dee, I kind of would like to see a little bit more variety of battle gear wise, just because of, just for me. Her opponent is actually Becca, not Bithrica. And she is gorgeous in all black, ripped up fishnets battle gear of awesome black boots all the way up to the thigh. And this is a completely different Becca than what the last time I saw. The last time I saw Becca, she was all blonde and colorful and completely different. Let's see what I learned about Becca with a 3. Hopefully we will find out what is up with that 3 instead of an E. Spoiler alert, we don't. Becca does music as well as wrestling. She wrote and performed her entrance music, which is called Hot Bod. Not too sure if she's using that same one with this new gimmick, because this new gimmick is kind of new, but we'll find out. She is from Boston, Massachusetts, debuted about 5.5 years ago, and uses the 450 splash and the Muda Lock. Becca is the current, I think it's just said BIP Tag Team Champion. But it's like B''P with their partner TJ Crawford for Blitzrig Pro. I have never heard of Blitzrig Pro before, so that was exciting. In her 5 years, Becca has been the ICW Women's Champion, the MCW Women's Champion, the CW Pan Optics Champion, the NCW Women's Champion, and the CW Higher Society Champion. Woo! Becca has been hustling in those 5 years and has wrestled in a lot of promotions, a lot of places. Her first match in AEW was all the way back in 2021. It was against Chris Statlander on Dark Elevation. In 2022, she had 3 matches, 2 on Elevation and the other one was on Dark. She teamed with the Notorious Mimi, who we have talked about before on this show, I think back in episode 4, against Layla Hirsch and Red Velvet. Athena defeated her on Dark, and Nyla Rose defeated her on Elevation. I love how I only made this rule in this episode, and she's just been coming up randomly. So, love it. Becca has a completely look now, like I said, than from the last time, and I love this look. I mean, it's all in black. What did you say? Serena Deeb takes off her battle robe, and excuse me, Miss Professor, from earlier, it does actually look like you have some new battle gear. This gear, pretty much the same, but it just has this lovely, pleasing shade of pink added to the sides of the pants and the tips. Very nice. A very respectful handshake is exchanged, and the bell rings. Serena and Becca instantly start wrestling with each other. The professor gets to work and out wrestles Becca mostly, but Becca is no slouch and manages to get the upper hand on Deeb for a bit until Serena takes my voice and I die. And I just go down into the depths and everything's bad. And I'm back like, Jesus Christ. What happened to my voice then? I died. Okay. Holy crap. All right. Serena takes out her knee and starts trying, like tying her up and into herself again, leaving Becca no choice but to go to the ropes for salvation. Now, as we know in Pure Rules, that's one. The two wrestlers lock up again, but instantly Serena literally wrestles rings around Becca. Becca pushes her off, but the professor shoots back from the ropes and shoulder tackles Becca to the mat. Serena takes a moment to gloat and runs to the ropes purposely this time. Becca thinks quick and turns herself into a speed bump, which Serena expertly bounds over. Becca goes for a hip toss, but Serena puts the brakes on that and twists Becca up, so she has no choice but to go where Deeb wants her to go. And Deeb wants her to go onto the mat screaming in pain with her surfboard stretch. The professor tries out her camel clutch on Becca. I don't know why my brain is still bootleg. It's like feels like it is still booting after that death from the voice. Oh my god, am I back? Am I back? Am I completely back? I'm still downloading. Good grief. Becca is squirming and fighting in a lot of pain, but not giving up. She gets to her feet, but the professor just needs to adjust herself slightly, and all of a sudden, Becca finds herself in a pin. She manages to kick out, but instantly, Deeb glomps on another submission, a snug little body scissors with a rear choke. Becca wriggles with all of her might and manages to power her way to the ropes to break the submission, and that's two. Becca takes a moment to regroup and then unleashes violence onto Serena Deeb and beats her back into the corner. Becca is on a roll and whips Serena into the opposite corner and gives her a couple of stiff running back elbows. Becca snapmares Serena into the middle of the ring, climbs to the middle rope, and then missiles a drop kick into Deeb. Becca goes for the pin, but the professor defiantly kicks out at one. Becca powers herself up and runs it at Serena, who has regained stamina, and she avoids Becca and her incoming attacks. Serena slips through the ropes and then gives Becca a rope-assisted neck breaker. Lovely. Getting back into the ring, Serena twists Becca around and nails her with a hammer lariat. Serena goes for a pin, but Becca is not out and kicks out at two. Deeb is mildly frustrated, but then gets, back to work. Serena gets Becca in a double underhook facebuster and slams her face down into the mat. Serena grabs Becca's legs and starts slamming one of them into the mat. When Serena thinks it's tender enough, she locks in a half crab submission. Becca screams out in pain and eventually taps out. Whoo! Serena Deeb and her tan are very happy with their win. And it also seems like Trisha Dora is very happy with that as well, as she has come out with her little notebook and must be gathering some sort of information for the future. Or are they together? Or are they going? Later on in the show, we have a match between Top Flight and the Infantry, which means we get blessed again by Trisha Dora and Layla Gray. Twice! It's a happy day. Both women are doing me the most personalist of favors of dressing in all black. Layla Gray is always going to make your day better. So if that's not a reason to watch Ring of Honor more, I don't know what is. She's just a joy. We love Layla Gray here. Respectfully. At don't call her, I was going to say don't call us Steve. Don't call us Steve. I will call you, right? Okay, we really need to move on. I'm getting really crazy now. Right, they stay out of action for most of the match until Trisha Dora sees her team is close to potentially losing and gets up onto the apron to distract the ref. Layla Gray is having none of this and sprints around the ring, pulls her off the apron, and the two wrestlers brawl all the way up the ramp and out to the back. I get a feeling we'll be having a match between these two soon, and the men folk carry on and we get the fuck out of here because Layla Gray is no longer here. So we no longer need to be here. Yo! I just found out, sickos, cry for me, if you will, that Yarlin is going to be starting at 8 a.m. my time. What is this? That's ridiculous. I managed to swap shifts, so we are all good. We had the Sunday off, but my downstairs neighbors are not going to be quite as happy. And I shall be extra delusional. Damn, the things you got to do to watch wrestling live, eh? From the bottom of the planet. 8 a.m. Still not as bad. Still not as bad as London, though. Bless you, London. But that was like 5. That was ridiculous. But we did it. Maybe that's our curse. Maybe that is our curse to always, always have Tom fucking starts for all ins. It's all good. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. On an absolutely non-wrestling sidebar, though, from speaking about the bottom of the planet, just in case you're thinking about coming here or whatever, and give you a little heads up. A dude recently who like actually lives in Antarctica, which if you don't know your geography is the big giant block of ice that's underneath us. He's there for work, and he literally confirmed in a little blog or something. It got picked up by the news, of course. Well, news. The newsy sherry sites and shit. It absolutely confirmed that Aotearoa, and personally, I think this especially also attacked. I say attacked. I don't mean it like that, but especially was about my city in general. It's colder here than in Antarctica, my friends. What is that? You feel it like in your bones here, like literally, like it's winter here, and I feel like everything inside you turns to winter. We get that really shitty damp cold, and that is an absolute bitch to try and wrap up for. It's ridiculous. I didn't even realize the difference, to be honest, until I went to Sweden, and they have dry cold, and dry cold rules. Like this dude was saying, like in Antarctica, they also have dry cold, of course. And once you have like good gear, you're sorted. You're absolutely fine. You just put on a good coat and you twaddle out, and it actually kind of like refreshes you, like you can warm to that, but damp cold is the shits. You can't wrap up in that. It just gets in you like you're like a wet sponge that's out on you know, the mountain. Anyway, I would also like to point out that that's not a bitch about winter. I don't bitch about the seasons and stuff. Completely illogical too. So but I just thought it's a fun little thing to point out because I was like, I had a feeling it was just slightly that bit worse. I did not realize that it actually like physically felt colder. Like, oh yeah, I would also like to preface that he was actually wearing his fancy pantsy Antarctica jacket in here as well, and he was the coldest he'd ever been in his life. Fuck me. Oh, I love it. On back to wrestling. The world title match is currently the only singles women's match on the card for Y'all In, considering there are two 21-person casino gauntlet matches on this card. The women's better be on the main card, by the way. I reckon that's gotta be it for Y'all In. Please, give us the full 21 competitors for the gauntlet match and let the women steal the show for like 40 minutes. Okay. That would be awesome. In 2018, some crazy kids decided, fuck it, let's combine our powers and make our own little wrestling pay-per-view. This, my little sickos, was the first ever All In, but not AEW's first All In. All In, which is now like arguably AEW's top pay-per-view, literally didn't happen in AEW until All In London. Y'all. Since then, the pay-per-view has instantly captured the importance of that very first pay-per-view. You know, the one put on by like the glorified t-shirt company. Tennille Dashwood joined commentary for the women's match that would later on compete and she would later on compete in the Casino Battle Royale. Alicia too was also a backstage reporter. He was there for the first ever All In as well. Old walking hypocrite himself, Billy Ray, competed in a 19-person over budget battle royale, which I had completely forgotten about and I find really interesting for reasons. He made it all the way to the end and he got like tipped out by Flash Gordon, who I'm like, I know that name, but I don't know that name. They had a four-corner survival match, which is the fatal four-way. What do you like better? Let me know. Do you prefer the naming it as a four-corner survival match or a fatal four-way? I mean, obviously, fatal four-way just flows off the tongue, but let me know if you like the other way. Which saw Tessa Blanchard defeat DMD, Chelsea Green, and Madison Rain. I remember when Chelsea Green showed up on this pay-per-view. Very exciting. When AEW became a thing, I was like, oh, like Chelsea Green's like, free. It'd be awesome if she came into AEW, but she didn't. But bravo to her though. I see she's doing amazing things. And I always see people say like they're always saying like really she's got some great fans. It sounds like she's doing some awesome like creative stuff with her character and everything. And it's brilliant. Yay, go Chelsea Green. I'm glad everything like it's all going wonderful for you. Bravo, lady. And another wrestler who has been there since the literal first All In was the super bad girl. She wasn't wrestling, but Penelope Ford was in the corner of Joey Janela, who was facing Hangman. On the second All In at Wembley Stadium, we had just one women's match on the card. It was the four-way for the women's title involving the champion at the time, Hikaru Shida. Love you, Hikaru. Hopefully you can come over again soon. Toni Storm, DMD, and Saraya. Saraya, of course, won the world title at that All In. She had a very wholesome moment with her whole family in the ring, and I am really happy that she was able to do that. That would have been a really big moment. Her brother even wrestled in AEW with her for a little bit, and like technical wise, he's really good. He's got a good like presence as well. Like I was actually quite impressed. Even his character wasn't like that bad. It's like just obviously television wrestling is a lot different than like just like wrestling and like untelevised stuff. It's a different animal. You just need to get comfortable in a different way. That's all. People just need time, which is why we need more women on the show for like multiple random reasons, because it gives everyone practice. 2024 All In at Wembley Stadium, London, had a brilliant mixed tag match between Willow and Tomohiro Ishii and Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway. Yeah, you remember doing that, Chris? Which the good guys won, and because of that, Willow got to then pick the stipulation for her and Stat's up-and-coming match at All Out, which was an absolute banger. The two pay-per-views are kind of like battle twins. One usually feeds into the other. Mariah May defeated Timeless Toni Storm for the World Championship, and the reign of the Woman from Hell would begin, and Timeless would be last seen skipping off down the streets of London. Mercedes Moné, who still had Camille by her side back then, faced Dr. Britt Baker for Moné's TBS Championship, which Moné was the victor in. Timeless or Rockstar Toni Storm doesn't seem to have the best luck at All In, but let's hoping that this turns around this year. If we're being honest, in my heart, I want Timeless Toni Storm to defeat Moné. But I also love the ride of wrestling, and we'll let it, take me wherever it goes. But yeah, if I was going to put my little chick in some ways, I want Timeless Toni Storm to win because one, I think she's the greatest women's champion in the world, and long may her reign be. But two, Bonkers Monet. Imagine the puppet of Bonkers Monet. Oh my God. It's going to be awesome no matter what, even though if it is at 8 a.m. in the morning. Hey, it means I'll have a lot of my Sunday left afterwards to probably just sit. So, what are your thoughts on this week's discussions? If you so wish, you can leave them as a comment in the appropriate sections wherever you are right now. Let me know if there are any women's wrestlers or matches you would like me to talk about. If you would be so kind as to like and subscribe whilst you're there, I would be very grateful. We're trying to get to 500. Woo! You can find moi. I don't know why I'm wahing so much today, but it's a moi day. Lurking threads at Bex underscore bested and under a tree in blue sky, Bex hyphen bested. Today I want to shout out myself because I made it. And also because I forgot to appropriately provide someone for this one. So let's get a shout out. Don't call me diva. We're going to shout out Layla Gray for being amazing. There we go. I would like to say thank you to Shane, my excellent producer, editor, promoter extraordinaire. Go check out some of his work on the Ethos Media Network. Oh, well done, Bexy. Yeah, go look at that. Go check out sickosclub.com and at Sickos Club on Threads. You've never met a more inclusive, smart, kind, talented bunch of silly sausages who have the quickest wit of any group of people I have ever met. And it is astounding how we've all managed to find ourselves. Fuck, we're funny. Damn. This was Don't Call Me Diva. Women's wrestling rules. Don't be a dick.